where they will get an education, because in a private school, if the teachers don't teach, the children won't come. So the principle of a private school, make sure the teachers teach, make sure the teachers are trained. So all across the world, you've got this, like the explosion of churches in the slums, is the explosion of private schools. Not necessarily Christian, Muslim, Hindu, just within these slum communities, there are people who like to educate, who care for the children, and who have a good heart, and often they are the poorest of the children. They are simply funding out of their own pocket. The teachers are underpaid, but the teachers know that what they're doing is of significance and work. So our students actually have to compare public and private schools as one of their assignments. It's quite interesting. And then following what you've done, the question of how do you set up a school in each country. So you've got a model there that works for the Philippines. So taking that model, we've asked the students, try and find out how to do it in each country. It's difficult to find out because the systems are they're somewhere there, but nobody knows what they are. And so it's a good exercise and very liberating for our students as they research these elements. That leads then to the questions of adult education. So we find in many places, particularly in India, that the schools end up with a program for the parents in terms of literacy. So our students then begin to see these literacy programs and some really latch on to those. And then the vocational training, which exists in structure in most countries, but the structure is from the 1980s. So the structure came largely through the World Council of Churches, quite honestly, with a strong educational thing influencing governments, and then the whole development of vocational training entities and nations that in the 1980s set up things like welding and electronics and so on. They've attached a few modern programs, but really the delivery system isn't getting to the core. So the whole field out there, which is essentially undeveloped, unresourced, where I think as our students can explore, some will gravitate to that.
Yeah, the question about the relationship with M2U. Well, the very acronym M2U ties you up with the MA level, right? So with that you will deal with accreditation issues and you get to of course deal with the Department of Education with all the requirements and all. Now as a seminary, of course, that becomes also a fixture in theological institutions, that when you deal with academic degrees and expertise, then that has to be accredited by the government. Now I guess in terms of, say, how we try to innovate here, is that we looked into the certificate programs, and you know, with say for instance the certificate in early childhood education. But now even here in the seminary, we're looking at ways by which we can offer like master of ministry programs that are not accredited by the government, but purely an APS degree. Because if you rely on, say, the accreditation, then you get bogged down with the academic rigors, and people here, especially working among the old and poor, you know, they struggle with the high academic rigors that an MA would offer. So the seminary should adapt and innovate in terms of offering, say, degrees that are more skills-based, but outside of that grid of accreditation by the national government. So there has to be a thinking out of the box. Even with the categorization of M2U, you are boxed into the MA program. So I'm just saying that we should be innovative in terms of how this could be, in terms of sustainability also, tapping into more relaxed notions of a degree program.
Amen.
So Tim, I think these last 4 days, that's the issue of our discussion.
Yeah.
I think Corey's captured it with the phrase social movement. And so I think our tool students, we need to train them to be movement leaders. That would be the objective. It is a master's level to enable leaders from among the poor to be conceptualizers, thinkers, creators, as movement leaders. But then we need to also be working to facilitate for each course, really, some associated movement dynamic. So Jonah and Corey already have the movement. Ideally, the MAR tool helps create some leaders who can work with you that are thinking and helping you with that movement. Whether that that would be so I think if we look at each course and ask the question, what's the attached social movement? That's a pretty helpful question.
Challenge now for us. Like 2 years ago, we were invited in HBI, so we taught the teachers and leaders in HBI in July. They wanted us to follow through. Then we had invitations to go to other countries, and then we're thinking, John help us with online. So that's the challenge now. How do you help those that are requesting for our curriculum? We have a brother from India. Can we get a copy of your curriculum? He said, you can, but you cannot just, get it without the training. So we're willing to give out the curriculum, but we need to have some training how to use it.
It need to be flipped learning. Flipped learning, you have to have the curriculum delivered digitally to them. They can do some online, but I'm just straight online training and something as complex as this doesn't work. So there has to be they have to have some face-to-face thing, or at least webinars on BC. There has to be some discussion of the material face-to-face and what the questions. It's just not, maths you can do, computing you can just do digitally, but this kind of stuff you can't.
So 1 o'clock today, we will Skype into my class using Sakai. So we'll connect with a number of different cities. I forget, there's not many in this class. It's the advocacy class. So there's five cities. So I'll get you to Skype in with me. They can Skype into this conference and just, I think, experience the nature of virtual classroom. So we don't talk of this as an online delivery process. It's a virtual classroom with some online content that goes with it. And I think using this methodology, you can do what you're saying. It's the virtual classroom is very relational. When God talks about content is digital,
information is digital, but formation is personal. If you're going to do that formation, you have to have.
So we can cover up to 8 cities, and usually in the city we have 2 to 6 students in that around the computer in that city. So classes of around 15 are viable. And it's very interactive. And I see the face-to-face time is largely a personal engagement. People are sharing problems, they're facing issues they're dealing with. The preparation for face-to-face time is content-oriented. So they come having read material, ready to present the material. So I think we now are at a stage technologically that we can do that. We couldn't do it with Skype because Skype will only deal with five sites, and it keeps dropping all the time.
So what's the program?
We're using VC, And VC is designed for health professionals out in the field. So it's low bandwidth. It works pretty well. There are other very fancy programs that integrate PowerPoint and your voice and your click here and people can raise their hands. So they don't work.
VC is easier than Skype. It was actually started by a PhD student from Stanford.
Yes.
And you can share screens as well, so you can do your presentations.
Yeah, VC is simpler.
We can share screens, though they prefer to share the PowerPoint separate to the presentation,
Yeah.
separate to the communication. So they're actually multitasking.
So you generally need three things. First, you need to deliver the information well beforehand and say, read this. Then a week before the VC call or something, you need to say, these are the questions we're discussing on the call, these are the agendas, so you get your brain picking that over. And then when they land in the call, you can take them through that. So that's what we call a flipped learning approach. Flipped as in somersault, flipped learning approach.
So then it might include like a recorded lecture that they could watch and,
Right.
and then read material, and then they'd have a time of discussion in their actual classes.
Like if you're doing entrepreneurship, you might find 4 of the best YouTube videos on entrepreneurship. Watch these videos in your own time. Here are some questions we want you to think about, and then we get into the discussion on the VC.
One thing that doesn't work is watching videos in the class itself.
Oh no.
Now we had a bit of a crossover here. Bruno is here with us today, and we just crossed over to this phrase entrepreneurship for kids. So I'm wondering if we just take a few minutes, it's not the topic, the next topic, but it fits here. So there is another course, there are 2 other courses in the program that are specific to entrepreneurship. One is, in fact, 7, the program is a program in social entrepreneurship, 7 courses. These So the program is a program in social entrepreneurship. We couldn't market it that way as Brazil is doing. So 7 courses are specifically entrepreneurial courses. 5 of them, the students have to go out and find an internship and work in that internship. I think, except for ATS, that's required. ATS came up with something different. And still has some correctives. It needs to be corrected because this is central to the program. This is what really works. So that in itself is an entrepreneurial activity, finding an internship, working with the internship, studying how the organization functions to develop. By the end of a program where you've set out 5 internships, you'll feel this. You can go anywhere and find your way and create something. Right. Then there's 2 courses, community economics, which I would encourage you to do early in the program, which covers the 10 principles of economics and then looks at them in terms of different levels of society. And then the later course on entrepreneurial and organizational leadership, where the students have to work with a business or work with an entrepreneur, somebody setting up a small business, and help them design a business plan, an HR plan, a financial plan. If it's an NGO, a fundraising plan. If it's not an NGO, then how are they going to capitalize the process? So Bruno, he's been working on this for, I don't know how many years, Bruno, but he's come up with some pretty valuable materials. I'm going to take a few minutes and just describe a little bit about what you do.
Yeah, what we are doing is from the lowest level. It's only necessary that people can read and write. We show them how to make this learning. I can also do it with the presentation, but it's easier to see a flow. Yeah, we started about 1.5 years ago. It's the mission of Business Center, and let me see.
Ini lagu bangsa.
We started 1.5 years ago. The first idea was to help people in the slums to set up the livelihoods like they did it, like YY was making products and trying to sell that. But we decided that it would not be the best if we are selling their products. Most important is that we teach the people how they can do it themselves. And they see, yes, we have also the capacity, we can also run a business. But you have to start from the lowest level. Like the question from people that want to start a business, they have the idea, how do I get money for it? What are my customers? What kind of products can I make? And also the problem with the family. Because if there is money, then very often the family also need money for it. Now we started the center in the slums, where we really teach people how they can run their own business. I think this is our center here, and this film will show you the best how it is working. Is there no noise? Okay, now this is the place where we are working. This is Pastor Marlon.
So when we have identified with a commitment to finish a 6-day training wherein we will teach them in a classroom situation about the preparation of a business plan. And the diploma of this training is a good business plan. We have partnered with the Center for Community Transformation, which specializes in microfinance operations that extend loans for capitalization of small businesses. They will be the ones to evaluate the business plan. They will also be organized into savings groups. And these savings groups will also be for the purpose of saving enough for small capitalization. And this capital that they will save will now be poured or invested into the small business that comes out of the business plan. So, once they have the capital and they can start, now they can start the business. Another important element is to partner them with a business coach who can mentor them and follow them up in their business for a period, for example, of 3 years. They will be mentored and coached to do this business.
Okay, now the strange short, the description.
That's a reading, I think.
Okay, yeah, it's,
It's an introduction.
yeah.
Where's the office? Where is the office?
The office is in Belsenville, Additional Hills.
Where?
In Mandaluyong, Additional Hills. There we have our office in the slums to build on the relation with the people. That's our purpose.
Thank you. Thank you. So, I guess that's the crossover into the other course there, which is helping your students. What I find is the students come in, they can't fill in an Excel spreadsheet, they've never done a budget, they have lots of ideas, but they have no practical skills. So they're learning a few things. As they're doing internships with organizations, they're beginning to see what works. But this course gives them the basic business skill. And by the end of it, they should have sufficient skill to know what to do to set up a small business and to continue to work in setting up small businesses with others. Not all are gifted to do that, and indeed most pastors are not called to do that. But most pastors need to manage their own business, which is the church. So that's that second course. So we're looking at course design this morning of these different courses this afternoon. Maybe we should take a break now, have a cup of tea, coffee, and then where are we having the photo taken? Who's taking the photograph? Anybody know? In front of the sign there. Maybe.
Yeah, that's what they're doing.
Well, let's see. Once you've got a cup of coffee, we'll find a place to get photographed up.
I've never seen it look like that, but
Sure.